Morning, people.
Hello. Good morning.
People. And there's no such thing. Yeah, nothing can trouble you except your own imagination. And in the so-called people, there are friends, there are partners, there are bosses, there are enemies, there are all sorts of ideas and images can be imagined. And nothing can trouble you except your own imagination, what you are imaging in about the so-called others.
Yeah.
Talk about the non-duality. There are no others. No others. Advaita or no duality. The labels they put on things. But they're just labels. Made up of words, concepts. And even the word is not the thing. You can't drink the word water. You can't cook with the word fire or eat yourself with it. And what's this I or me? Just words. Words which separate ourselves. When once there's me, there must be other than me. Once there is I, there must be other than I. Once there is this, there must be other. There will be that. Once there's happiness, there will be sadness. What does nature know about it? Does the sun saying, I'm here at this moment in space, but I've got to get going in time to catch up with being at such and such a place at such and such a time? Well, where will that place be? It'll still be in space.
Yes.
Now, can you separate that, pinpoint that place in space where it's going to be? Can you put it on that thing you put in the car to, what is it, that thing you got to tell you where you are?
Map?
Yeah, the map.
Google Map?
On the little thing.
A GPS?
The GPS. There's no GPS on Earth as it's rolling around space. Will I do a right turn here or a right turn there? Or I'm going to arrive at darkness? Or there'll be more light over there? They're all concepts, all ideas, all images. The Sagata made a simple suggestion that nothing can trouble you excepting your own imagination. And he was living from that aspect of it.
Yes.
So, and he pointed it out that people could hear it, take delivery of it and utilise it. Or you're going to keep imaging in, have a look and see what happens. It's like looking in the mirror. We use the analogy of the mirror, which is a good analogy.
Yes.
The mirror is always clear and empty. Have you ever seen a clear and empty mirror?
No.
You never can, never will. But have you ever grabbed anything substantial or solid out of the mirror? You haven't.
No.
So you can't say all those things that are appearing in the mirror, including your face, your body, and everything else, that are just things. Grab one of them. You can't. So you can't say it is or it is not. That's the same with everything. It's all the one-sided coin, or no one-sided stick. And though it seemingly is two sides and two ends to the stick, and they can appear different, each side or each end can appear different. But it's still, when you realise it's still the same coin or the same stick, why are you going to be bothered with it? You think it's the same thing we call mind, that vibrates into good and bad, pleasant, pain, happy, sad, loving, hating. It's the same so-called thing. What's mind? Show me your mind. Isn't mind a concept? There's no such thing as say mind except apart from the concept we put on thought. Word. When the thought becomes less subtle, or it becomes sound, or word, or it was sound or word before. We call it a thought, a vibration, a movement of energy. So that's all seemingly occurring or happening. There's a very, very subtle vibration expressing through this stillness, silence, and emptiness, which we call space, or cognising emptiness. That cognising or knowing. And you're cognising right now. You think it's me that's cognising or knowing. It's me that is aware. It isn't. It is the awareness itself, or the cognising itself, or the basic screen itself, in which everything appears and disappears. Appearance, seemingly so; disappearance, seemingly gone. But what it appeared in, does that come when the reflection, something moves out of the mirror, that reflection goes out of it, another reflection goes into it. But has the mirror come or gone? Still nailed to the wall. What's it on there? So the things that come and go in this space-like awareness. As a space-like awareness, or being contaminated or corrupted, or touched. And that's what we call awareness. It's a space, it's space like space. Space is no thing. You can't put any centre onto it, can't put any circumference onto it, can't put any boundaries on it, you can't cut it up. So how can you say it's something? And what about awareness? We like this. Then we say my awareness. Or I am the awareness. The awareness is what the I am and the my appears in, just the same as everything else appears in it. It's non-conceptual, ever fresh, present awareness. It's not a past awareness or a future awareness. Grab that bit of space in front of you now and say, divide it. Which part is yesterday and which part is tomorrow? Cut space. Put the two sections, one on each end of the room. What's in between? Can you find a centre to it? Just the same as the North Pole and South Pole. You can't go any further south, so you call north again. You can't go any further north, you turn south again. They so call meet at the equator. I was at sea for years and crossed the equator many times. Nobody ever got out and opened the gate, let me through. And nobody says, here it is. They'd put a piece of ceremony on at times and initiate you. But there was no static point there anyway. Nothing static in this life. So it's the imaging in, creating mental images, taking the images to be real, instead of recognising they're transient, they're changing, they're coming and going. Nothing fixated there at all. And basically it's all what we call, for want of a better term, life. And there's Nisargadatta says again, there's only life.
Yes.
Not your life or my life, it's all life.
Mm.
And he says there's nobody or no thing that lives a life. And he also said that life lives on life. Because if it's all life, where is life going to come from? Out of life.
Mm.
Where's it going to go to? Back into life.
Yeah.
So you see, in all this division and creating all concepts and ideas and images, that's the cause of all the problems we have.
Mm.
You're not going into any of these things. What is wrong with right now, with right in this moment right now, if you're not conceptualising or thinking about it? Well, as we said before, thought or mind is just a mental concept, and you're not concepting. What can be said about it?
Mm.
Nothing. But can you negate it? Like you say, you can't say those reflections are not there. You say you can't negate them. But you can't say they are there, because you can't grab them.
Mm.
So what can you do with this life? Can you grab hold of life and say this moment is life? It's not. It'll only be a thought about life, a thought or a concept or a feeling or an imagining.
Mm.
So out of life, comes out of life and back into life it goes again. Out of life, more life comes. And we separate it and divide it, conceptualise it, get locked into it. And all these other concepts and words we've learned, fear, anxiety, depression, guilt, jealousy, envy, anger, all the other conceptual labels we put on it, we take to be real and bind ourselves up in them. And it stirs up things in this pattern, shape and form we call the body. It gets, that energy can raise the temperature. It can cause the cells in it to stir up, blood pressure to rise, all sorts of things to go on it. But it's just happenings. We put the label on them, and it takes away the equilibrium, the happiness, the peace that passes all understanding, the natural innate joyousness of being. And we do this all the way through. And the natural foods that are there for us to eat, we doctor them up. More of something sweeter, sugar, which is a killer, or salt, which is too much. Keep everything in balance, and it works out all right. I can't say I'm any good at that too, because it's the signs are showing through this body now of what was knocked about years ago, and the ageing of it, and the seeming when the body, the vehicle in which that intelligence energy formed and is patterning and expressing through, when that disappears, the life will go out of it and go back into life again. And what's left, the remnants of it, the seemingly solid, the transient body, will break down. We'll either bury it, burn it, or it'll rot and break down into all the elements, back into the essence also. Nothing's lost. Nothing's gained. But the big to-do about it has got us into all sorts of trouble. You can't see any way out from it. But there can be a way out for the person, the so-called separate entity, when it's dropped back into its natural state. And a lot of these things will drop away. And the natural, spontaneous livingness will be there in the immediacy of this moment. We got any questions there?
Not yet. yeah, there was one question before. It was from the question from Steve. Maybe not a question, but for the meeting. Did Bob ever say why John Wheeler retired from teaching? I enjoy his books and wondered how come he stopped sharing. Also, recent meme came up. No theory, no dogma, no argument. Just this is enough.
Yeah. Well, I can't speak for John Wheeler, so I don't know. He never ever told me why he retired or anything like that. And his books and everything was pretty good. And it's a bit, well, whether he retired or where he is. But we haven't been in contact for some years. And I'm always open to hear from him. But whatever happened to him, I can't see. I can't speak for anybody, why or how or when. But it happens.
That's right. And I'll also just add this. Hi everyone, I didn't meet John Wheeler, but this is just kind of more generalized answer. Whatever life moves us to do is one thing. Whatever justifying story we put on it is all another order of things. Like life moves us. Perhaps life moved John to stop for whatever reason. Maybe people didn't show up, or maybe there was some bullying. Who knows? I mean, this is a story. Why? What comes after why is a story. And as we know, we can have one event, and in a positive mood, we can have positive story about it. In a little bit more of like an angry mood, or in a rainy day, we can have a completely different story about it. So the why is a good question if we want the entertainment from the mind. But if we want the absolute ultimate truth, the feeling, the being, and no whys, no going to the stories, the mystery, why he did what he did, life moved him, is a mystery. Story will just explain for the mind.
Yeah. Anyone can contact him, they can ask him. I'm sure he'll have a adequate answer to what it is, if he wants to.
If he wants to go to the story, yeah. Maybe he's just happy not to go to the story and he's not answering. I don't know. That's for now. Yes, so you gotta go on. Jane says, thank you for being there for us.
Who?
Oh, Jane, thank you for being here with us all this morning. And you have a lot of beautiful messages of hello and welcome and happy to see you and good morning everyone, nobody more. Yeah, it's a lot of, we have 30 people saying wonderful, beautiful, warm words, but you go on nonduality.
Thank you, people.
Oh, we've got a comment from Julia. What comes after why is a story. Oh, that's Julia says, beautiful cat. Yes, thank you, Julia. This is not mine, really. We have one here. It doesn't show on my phone just yet. I'll try. Come on. Okay, I got it. Yep, I'm gonna just read some comments because they just appeared. So this is from Chris. Chris. Yes. These words are so relevant and moving for me, Bob, as I celebrate my 74th birthday. You look much younger, Chris. Happy birthday. You look much, much younger, 20 years younger. And thanks, Bob. There are several bits falling off this vehicle also, but it is a vehicle and I am becoming more interested in the passenger than the conveyance.
Yeah,
Then again, no passenger.
that's right. Beautiful.
Beautiful. Beautiful. And JK, can one knock things about the body in non-dual way? Can one knock things about the body in non-dual way? Not sure what you mean. The
Yeah.
body is knocked about by life, and life is nobody.
Well, without the body, what way are you going to think at all?
Yeah.
You can think about it,
Knock things,
everything.
knock things about the body in non-dual way. I think the idea of dual way and non-dual way is a dualistic idea.
Because when you separate from the body, that's non-dual, but when you include the pattern, shape and form, the body and everything else in that oneness, that's the non-dual way. There's nothing separate.
Yeah. And Rohan says, in answer to Julia, what comes after the why, Rohan says, if we look for one asking why, it will never be found. Good point. And Theodore, I decided this morning that my Christmas gift to myself would be one-on-one with Venerable Sailor Bob. Good. Yes, that's a real gift.
Go ahead, it's open.
Yeah, anytime. Just email him, we'll give you a Skype, and that's really easy. And very often after Bob has a meeting, they just stay in touch. He's got friends around the world. They just calling in and checking, saying hi. It's not a business, it's friendship. Tanya, how do you see there are no others? If there is a belief that there is no others, it means that there is a belief in a me. I can't find a me, but there seem to be others.
What's it seem to be? It's a phenomenal appearance. Definition of phenomenal, what appears to be, the seeming is appearing to be. But go up and investigate it closely. That body you see as others, put it under a microscope, see how solid it is. Break it all down. Seems to be solid, seems to be real, it's a whole manifestation. Even the body seems to be real. Put that under a microscope, you'll see the same. Everything is transient. There's nothing static. So it appears to be, we're utilising by thinking through it, so go with the flow.
Beautiful answer. Yeah, I didn't think about it this way. Yeah, see how Bob beautifully pointed out, you find no me, but you find others. Really? There is a body, and there are bodies. So now if you project there is a me in that body, then you project that there is a you in that other body. But if there is no me, there is no you. There is no other inside the body. It's just the body doing whatever the life moves it to do, but there is no doer. If there is no doer here, there is no doer anywhere. That's why I always say even the worst oppressors, they're completely innocent. They're not the doers. That's just life calibrating particular body into particular horrible actions, and that's it. So no me, no other. There seem to be bodies, they seem to be trees, then seem to be reflections in the mirror, of course, because we have eyes and they project it. They recognize patterns and project patterns. Our cats are crazy, they're playing. Yeah, they're making noise. Yes, so that's a really good question. I'm glad you brought it up, because the seem to be no me, but there seem to be others. See what a subtle trick the mind does. You're looking around, you don't see your own face, but you see other faces. Yes, but you're not face. There's no one behind the face. You can go to the mirror and see the reflection. And now, Aldo, why would we want to listen to John Wheeler when we have the amazing clarity of Bob Adamson? What a beautiful way to say it. Yeah.
Aldo.
Yes.
Long time no hear, Aldo. Hope you're going well.
Yeah. Give him a call on Skype. Johannes, thank you for your talks. And GK, I mean, what's to do with impulse for pleasure, salt, sugar, spice of life? That's a good question.
What?
Yeah, the impulse for for pleasure, sugar and salt. You know, you were saying about spicing everything and wanting it. What to do about it? What to do with the impulse for pleasure? Who would?
What's an impulse? An urge.
Yes.
And what's the urge? A movement of energy.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have to follow it?
Yeah, sometimes when the urge is very, very strong,
strong,
it
it
is being
seems to be,
followed. Yeah.
And who moves that?
That's it. Yeah, it's always only life. Recognition, that's the thing that is seemingly the very only, one and only thing to do. And you're not doing it. Recognition happens.
Yeah, sometimes we follow and they're the ways, they're the means of getting out of us too.
Yeah.
Like the alcoholism was the thing that pointed me to look at this stuff.
Yes.
To get out of it all, where I smoked and drank and did all sorts of other things. The impulse or urge was there to do it until it got so much. It practically destroyed me. But there was what'd you say, at a moment when you could call it awareness of it all, what was going on. And that turned the whole situation around. And it didn't become pure clarity overnight either. The clarity was seen, but then it had to be lived. It's not a matter of talking the talk, it's a matter of walking the walk also. Going to get it. And that started to happen. Now it was very slow and feeble at the start.
Yeah, so you heard it's slow and feeble at the start. That's okay. If the moments of insights or the moment of recognition are slow and feeble, that's okay. That's all good. And yes, what do you do with urges, wanting to put more salt and more sugar? You watch it. That's all that can be done, because any sort of an idea of trying to contrive it, fix it, or heal it, or cure it, or change it, reinforces the idea of the doer having free will.
Well, the acid test of everything is, does it work? So put it to the test. You know, if I eat a bit better, see if the body changes. If I look out and breathe better, or do, and you know, and if I watch the mind and learn things about the so-called mind, will it bring about a change? And it has. It does.
That's a good way of looking at it. There are pleasures that people are guilty about, like whatever, junk food, but it doesn't do them any harm. A miracle, but it doesn't. For some reason, it just doesn't. Yeah. So what's the big deal? It's a good point. And Mukti replied to Aldo, depends what one is moved to do. Why would we want to listen to? Yes, yeah, that's true. Yeah. Aldo was saying, why would we listen to anyone else if you are here? And Mukti says, well, it depends what people are moved to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it was, well, the way I read the question was really more of the energetic acknowledgement than real question, why, demanding the answer. But the answer is good reminder. And Alvaro, I have a dream with Bob, and he told me, whose mind is anyway? At that moment I feel very happy and awake. That's nice. Yeah, people get guidance through the dreams, through little synchronicities or insights or coincidence.
And that's a good one. I tell you, looking at the mind, what mind is there?
Yeah.
We all claim this mind. But there is no such thing as mind apart from thought.
Mm-hmm.
Thoughts are concepts, sounds, words.
Yes.
Nobody can show me a thing called mind there. And the thinking happens, the vibration happens, those words, sounds, and other activities and movements of energy also. But it's all life. Life, energy is life, and life is energy. It's only life which we seem to divide up and call it mind. Thoughts, feelings, emotions, all sorts of different labels we put on the division.
Yes. We have JK. Do unhealthy, unnatural desires fall away when the truth is lived? Not always. Unhealthy desires fall away. I mean, desires may fall away, but habits may stay.
Yeah.
Unhealthy habits, like smoking cigarettes, or
Well,
yeah.
they usually drop off if you want them to.
Nisargadatta didn't.
No, well, he probably didn't want to. But,
Yeah, sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. Some habits fall away, some don't. What does fall away is the self-obsession, self-referential thinking, obsession, that falls away. But whether they are habits of behavior or habits of reactions, some of them may change, but some of them don't. Some of them may get worse. I mean, everything changes, but... Yeah, it's a mystery. If we would assume that all the healthy habits will come into a surface naturally, then we will have to review perhaps throughout the centuries what's healthy and what's unhealthy. I've seen incredible situations with, like, I had a friend who died at 95, but for all of her life she was drinking loads of caffeine in the tea with couple of liters of milk every day and putting 3 teaspoons of sugar to every cup. And the food she was eating, oh my God, I would not eat that stuff. And she was flexible to the last of her day. She believed she was eating healthy. She believed it was good for her. Her family probably believed that too. And that collective belief somehow gave her a quality, long, healthy life. I don't know how it works. That didn't work for us. When we changed diets to better, everything started looking better. Perhaps again the collective belief in the area where we are living, and perhaps a subconscious belief that runs through that body-mind makes the healthy habits more sustainable and fruitful than unhealthy ones. But when I see people have those unhealthy habits, I don't question them, because why would I install the beliefs that would be sabotaging their life, which is happy and all right? That's why converting anyone, changing anyone, teaching anyone is a misunderstanding of what life is all about. So whether the habits will fall away or not, just see how badly you want to find out.
Well, if you recognise the habit and want to do something about it, naturally you won't indulge in it.
Life will move you.
Yeah.
And it's amazing, we were talking about alcoholism on the other Zoom meeting the other day. Sometimes life moves you to just keep recognizing the harmful habit, and it starts weaken because the attention is withdrawn from this mechanical action. And sometimes life moves you the other way and has to get really worse. Sometimes you may even need to adopt a belief system of higher power, Jesus, whatever it is. Life moves you, and it brings you to the point in which the surrender happens. Surrender of what? The me non-existing? Yes, life may play this scenario this way. See which way life is going to move you.
And it moves you just the same as you breathe, your heartbeat, your hair and your fingernails. You don't have to think about it. The spontaneous activity,
Yeah. It's not that everyone should do this or try this method or this tool. 12-step programs work for a lot of people. For others are not necessary, and yet for others they can't work because
and others can go beyond it too.
Yeah.
And see the natural truth there.
Yes. From the point of attention, the eye attention is seen, Jane says. From the point of attention, the eye attention is seen. Maybe it was supposed to be inattention. And we have from Roxanne, clarity, open skies, the clouds of anxiety and overactive mind worry about all this. Is this a thing in the waking up journey? I still know the truth under the ripples. That's it. Knowing the truth under the ripples. Yes. Yes, the mind will habitually put attention into whatever the worry is. But these habits, they weaken over time, I've noticed. And certainly in Bob, but myself also.
What?
The habits of worrying. Yeah, they may come up when the immediate danger is there, but obsessing about it is
Again, most of the questions come up about mind. Is there such a thing? That's the question to ask. Is there such a thing as mind? Have a look and see if I can find a thing called mind.
Yes.
I realise it's just the concepts or thoughts. You know, what's a concept? A mental construct. You know, and what reality has it got? Sound, vibration. That's all it's broken down. What damage can a sound do? Punching your eardrums, maybe. Just noise, but a beautiful music can come from it also. That when this mind's we believe this mind to be what I am, the personal self, that's when all the problems come about from. Because we separate the me from the other concepts that are going on. The me is just a thought. But without that thought on, what is it? What are you without the thought? Without the thought, you're breathing, your heart's beating, hair and fingernails are growing, food's being done. The livingness is there, you are the life itself. Now that life itself, without the thought, what problem is there with it? If you eat something wrong, you might get digestion or something like that. You see, but won't be as bad as what all this conceptualizing brings upon us. The fear, the anger, the depression, the guilt, the shame, the remorse. The other side of the coin is love, joy, happiness, compassion. It's all there. Naturally and effortlessly.
Yeah, it's beautiful what Roxanne said, that, underlying that all patterns of worry, which are just like ripples on the surface, is that vastness of...
Exactly. That's right, exactly it. It's that awareness or no-thingness that everything appears. A cognising awareness. Awareness that knows. Not this or that, pure knowing. Until the words is broken into a label, it can't say it's good knowing or a bad knowing. You've got a good awareness or a bad awareness. It's just this presence awareness. This awareness is with you right now, in which everything is appearing on and in. But you can't grab awareness. Like the sword can't cut it, the fire can't burn it, the wind can't dry it, the water can't drown it. Why? Because it contains all of those things. None of those things can ever touch it or contain it. They can't cut it, divide it, burn it, do anything with it. So what are you? When you realise I am that awareness. I am that absolute. What's going to corrupt you or contaminate you or hurt you in any way at all? And the pattern that's expressing true can be damaged, hurt, be burnt or cold or whatever. But the pattern just made up as a transient pattern anyway. It's made up of concepts also.
Mm.
You are the eternal, the absolute, always and ever.
Yes.
Just this, nothing else, because there is no thing other or else.
Mm.
Though there is seemingly multitudes, myriads of things, but it's all basically one and the same. So it doesn't really matter whether you're expressing it correctly or incorrectly or not expressing it at all.
Mm.
It's still only and ever that. Let the recognition of that be with you, be what you are, recognising it as you are, then see what can trouble you then.
Mm.
And it'll can still continue to express in its diversity, because there would be no manifestation if it didn't. But who or what can be troubled by it?
Yeah. And what's the difference? What the expression is like, whether it is talking or speaking or reading or writing or dancing or singing.
Yeah.
Or staying quiet, it makes no difference. From absolute perspective, it makes no difference. It doesn't even need the justification. I think we have Jane. The action figure acts, but it is really moved by oneness, acting spontaneously. That's right. Yeah, life moves it. Johannes, so the separate self is illusory, but there is an appearance of heaviness in the body. This heaviness feels real. Any comments?
Well, where is that heaviness? It appears in the body. Where?
Mm.
You say it appears in my head or in my heart. Well, have a look. Where you look at, if you say it's appearing there, you can't see it. Have a look and see where you're looking at it from.
Mm.
So how could you objectify it if it wasn't for some other point?
Yes.
So it's objectified. If it's in your head, where from?
Mm.
Go back and have a look at that, and where is that objectified from?
Mm-hmm.
And see if that heaviness in the body has any centre. If it's a cut or a bruise or a broken bone, sure, you can put your finger on it, you know it's there. But these things that appear in the head as heaviness or thoughts or feelings, or in the chest as pains or pinpoints of pains or obstructions, or in the heart as again feelings, sensations, have a look into it, look right into it.
Yeah.
And just don't look casually, just look, go right in and see. And if you think you feel where it is, make it worse. Okay, there it is in my head. Now focus into the head and try and make it worse. Put all your energy into making it worse. And you realise you're looking at it from somewhere else, and you start laughing at it because you can't make it worse at all because there's nothing there. You do the same with any of these conceptual or mind thought up centres which you find in the body. You'll find there's nothing really there but the broken bone or the bruise or the cut or the strain or the sprain, things that are in the muscles and ligaments that's really there. You can pinpoint them. Or the backache in the spine and things like that, you know they're there. But these conceptual images we get, the thought-up images, the psychological constructs, go right into them. Do the thing you fear, and the death of fear is certain. But if the thing you fear is an idea in your mind or a body, it'll go.
Yeah, you sometimes also tell people, I like that part of that little inspiration, because it's not an advice, because you are not the doer, you can't, but there is an inspiration to make things worse. I heard Bob often was saying, what's the worst case scenario? If there is a heaviness, if there is some sort of a lump in the guts, or something that you would normally call anxiety or something, but you take the label off and try and make it worse. The worst that can happen is you're gonna just faint. And so what a big deal about fainting for a couple of minutes. And most of the time when we accept the worst case scenario, it's not going to happen anyway, because it's the mind bluffing.
Well, when you're trying to make it worse, you'll see all the energy's going into the focus you're putting into it, the looking into it.
Yes.
And you wouldn't say much. And there's no energy going into the heavy feeling in the head. Nothing can last without energy.
That's right.
So it must drop off.
It will.
And then you start laughing. Well, here I am trying to force it, and there's nothing there. Comes a big joke.
That's right. Yeah.
Do that a few times, you'll never have to worry about it again.
Yeah. Even just simply focusing the attention on watching the sensation, the reflection in the body of that heaviness or absence of energy or lumps in the guts, throat, whatever it is. Knots in the guts, I think. Heaviness feels real. Yeah, isn't it amazing, by the way, that Johannes says that it feels so real.
It does.
It's amazing.
And because we reinforce it all the time, and it comes up again and again and again, and we don't even bother to question it after a while, it gets heavier and heavier, more real all the time.
Yes. Yeah, it's incredible.
And then it not only spreads from where it was, it goes into other parts of the body too. It becomes overwhelming.
Yeah. And where were we? That's Billy. Worrying and obsessing about a fear that we cannot control is something we all suffer from. And therefore, unless we can step away from the mind, we will continue to suffer. The trick is how you step away from the mind. And this is the individual process.
Step into it, don't step away from it. Investigate it, have a look, go right into this thing you can call mind.
Yeah.
What's mind? Show me it. Have a look and see if you can find a mind. You've got a group of concepts there, which you might call mind, sounds or thoughts or feelings. But there's no such thing as mind.
Yeah.
We put them all together, and they say we've got this mind. It's fearful, it's anxious, it's depressed, it's unhappy. All concepts.
Yeah, but I like that part, what Billy highlighted. And this is an individual process. You can't learn it from a teacher.
Yeah, that's right.
You have to walk the walk. You have to really look for yourself. And there is no you to do the looking. It's just happening.
And that's what I'm pointing to. Have a look.
Yeah.
As I say, I can't teach you anything, I can't tell you anything. All I do is point toward and ask you to look to where we're pointing to see for yourself. Because nobody can ever do it for you.
Yeah.
Nobody. Because there is no body other than the life essence that you are. That's expressing through everybody.
Yeah, that's how the resonance in pointing works. The nobody in you is kind of creating a frequency for nobody out there to come on the same wavelength of recognition, spontaneous natural recognition of what is always here, just staring at our face, and miss out because of the filter of mind which interprets and gives credit and assign roles. But that can be seen through. That's the purpose, if we want to put any of that spontaneous expression. That's Debbie. Be much more interested in being conscious of the thought rather than the stories thoughts tell. Good point.
Yeah.
Yes, very beautifully said. Yeah. Mukti, the transmission, you are the eternal, only and ever that. So clear and true. Love you, Bob Adamson.
Thank you, Mukti.
And Mukti, on fire, Bob, love that. Make it worse. You can't, she's quoting you, make it worse. You can't, there is nothing there. Thank you. Beautiful. And now, Avitor replying, or maybe Martin is the first name, I'm sorry if I get it wrong, replying to Billy, is there, man, can we be friends if you don't mind? Yeah, someone wants to be Billy's friend. Chris, have to leave early today. Much love to you both. Thank you.
Lovely, Chris.
Happy birthday.
Have a great day.
Yes. Celebrate your magnificent, miraculous self. Johannes, thank you so much. There is no reality in the appearances. It is just a appear as if.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. That's,
yes.
Yeah. Reality is that which never changes, and there is no appearance that never changes.
It's only seemly so. The pattern, shapes and forms are, when they're looked into, can be broken down, isn't it? Like the shadow on the wall.
Yes. And Sally replying to Johannes, I feel tightness in my jaw and chest, and I wonder if it is the belief in a self that manifests in my body. What are your thoughts? Tightness in my jaw and chest, and I wonder if this is a belief in a self that manifests in the body.
Yeah, well, check it out. If there's something physically wrong with it, go to a doctor and see if they check it out. But if it's mental, check it out. It's just the concept you're hanging on to there, clinging on to. Go into the tightness, again, as we pointed out before. But if it's something physical, you can pinpoint it. If you can pinpoint it, go and look to your health. Professional there, they'll point it out and find out if there's something wrong. Take the tests.
But that's a really interesting idea, because you pointed out very often that the separate self, the sense of the I, a sense of a driver of the bus, the little man, is purely and simply a resistance. And now Sally says that, the resistance manifests as tension here or there, and that tension could be equated, that this is a reflection of that sort of, that idea of separate self, reflected as the resistance or tension. It's an interesting concept, because now if you will actually project that your tension is the separate self, you relax the tension, you're free.
Yeah.
Who knows? That may be what life is moving you to do. That may be how the clarity unfolds in your case. It could be this way. Or it could be just that the tension is again an object in consciousness, which is being seen or recognized as an object. That's another way to look at it. But it is your walk. If that idea of putting, just like in 12-step programs or in Sedona method, you begin to believe that your response is something, let's say whatever doesn't matter, you just give it a word and then you release that word and you're free. If that works, why not? And JK, can you please say more about advising, transforming supposed others, especially loved ones, when we see they are seemingly causing distractions unconsciously around them? Thank you.
Well, if you're seeing it in them, maybe you can give them a little hint or say something that's not necessarily to directly accost them with it, which will turn them against you, but say some little thing that you've understood yourself, and which might resonate.
I'd say demonstrate. Inspire by demonstration. If someone, of course, it's a different story when you talk about the little children. Can you use the other tissue, because the paper is making really strong noise on the speaker. Yeah, with little children, of course, you're in charge. So if they are reaching out for drugs, then it's your duty.
And the beautiful thing is, little children are very close to this, usually, until the conditioning is only starting on them from their parents, their schools and everybody else. And they've got a natural knowingness there before that.
Mm-hmm.
And they might hear something now, but they'll get caught up in the everyday life of others, kids and too, and learn things.
Yeah.
They might seemingly forget.
Mm-hmm.
But years later, when something will move them to turn again, and what's been resonated with now will become more easily recognised later on,
Yes.
or drive them to turn later on into look at something.
Yeah, but very often I've noticed, and I heard it from many, many people, and I even read that in some books which were supposed to inspire, and I find it a little bit dangerous to assume that I am higher, more evolved, or more awake than my spouse, for example. Therefore, I have to control them, I have to fix them, I have to inspire them, I'm responsible for them to change. Look, the world is projection. If you are projecting that somebody is narcissistic, look where you are narcissistic, even having that idea about them. If you project that someone is a psychopath or unhealthy or not evolved enough or awake enough, this is the projector. This is the one that needs to be fixed. If I'm seeing unawake people out there, well, perhaps I'm unawake. If I'm seeing pure energy, life essence reflected out there in everything, well, I'm seeing my own reflection. From that standpoint, when you talk with the loved ones, dear ones, see where they are already awake, see what they have already understood, bring it up, highlight it. There is no one who does not have glimpses of innate wisdom around this topic. My father, for example, he is an atheist. He doesn't believe in anything, in any energy works or any of that. But he does believe in gravity. That's a law of nature. So when those things, when you see also that everything in nature is determined by a multitude of factors, that is hardly anyone can deny that. So see what they already know, and help them by highlighting it, by bringing it up to find their own answers, rather than force your answers and your understanding on them, because that's a rape.
Recognising that you are the absolute.
Mm.
You don't have to try and force anything on anybody.
Yeah.
Just expand that absoluteness and take them in.
Yes.
Take them inside the big curtain, if you like. We can't call it a circle or whatever, but you know what I mean. Completely enclose them in the absolute themselves. And trying to drag them in, they won't. They might drag you out instead.
That's right. And what Bob was saying is totally valid. I mean, you won't be able to stop yourself. If you have the beautiful, profound insight that is just pure joy, and it just pours out of you. It just pours out, not for the purpose of fixing someone, but for share natural sharing. Like Bob often uses also this one when the bucket is full regarding love and compassion, empathy, it overflows. So that is inevitable. That is, you can't stop it. You're not the doer. So those insights, they will, whether you verbalize them or you don't, it may be energetic change that will bring the change in the loved ones, the response in the loved ones. Nothing needs to be done. Life does it all.
If you're open to it.
Yes. I don't know where am I? Now, Nisargadatta states, you have no choice, only the illusion of it.
No what?
You have no choice, only the illusion of it. And that goes further. This seems to indicate that we are all on production line. Anyone listening to this webinar just happens to be at that point of the line.
Yep.
Yeah, you can use the analogy. Yeah, production line.
Choices are made, but there's no choice maker. Decisions are made, but there's no decision maker.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure about the production line, what we're producing.
Yeah.
It's an expression line.
Expressing better.
Yes. And now Theodore, hey Bob and Kat. Kat spelled with C. Can you briefly explain how consciousness recreates the world we live in over and over? Thank you, both of you. How consciousness recreates the world over and over.
Well, so what is the world? It's pattern, shapes and forms. Vibration.
Yeah.
It just continues to vibrate. Energy continues to move.
Yeah. Yeah, also when you think of this biocomputer here, when certain neuronal connections are projecting that world and recognize it the way it was yesterday, let's say last night we went to sleep and the world disappeared completely and we've found ourselves in completely different world with different people, with different landscapes. That has been created by all that machinery and interpreted by it. And then we woke up and this is recreated.
But the trouble is we've got this word created. There's nothing static or created about any of it.
Yeah.
It appears, plays around, it vibrates and disappears.
That's right.
There's no creation, there's no creator, and there's no creature. What is created, it would be a creature.
Yes.
But there's no creature, everything, these different creatures appear to be. They're not real. This body's not a creature.
Yeah.
You know? Well, every cell goes into making of it, and each cell is a unique expression. What created the cell? The essence of the food. What is the essence of the food that created?
Yes. Essence of the food and 1,000 other little things in the environment. Yeah, the water, the air, the matter, the fire, the temperature, all of it.
Are any of those created?
Nope.
What's water? Break it down to a couple of gases, don't you? What's the gas?
Yeah.
Broken down into subatomic body into energy. What's the energy? Just an activity.
Movement.
A movement, a vibration. What's the vibration? A spontaneous throb or pulsation.
Yeah, that's a great question. How the consciousness recreates the whole world. Amazing, isn't it? You can't really very briefly explain it because it's a mystery. Really, we can actually kind of emulate or imitate it by creating a film which you can play a few times. But again, the experience is not going to be the same. Even though you watch the same film, your response is different.
You can seemingly create the world all the time, but it's changed. Just the same as this body is not the same body as it was a minute ago.
That's right.
Or at least last week or last year. You know it's not.
Yeah, apparently this organ, these little cameras work the way that you actually see clearly a very, very small fracture of the field. The rest is assumed from the memory. And experiments were done with the reading a text where only one letter at the time or one syllable at the time was actually sharp, everything else was blurred. And people who were reading it didn't even realize that there was nothing else available to be read, because that's how the computer is constructed. It's incredible. It's mind-blowing. That's not really an explanation. That's just an observation. It's incredible. And now we have Barbara. Nisargadatta loved Douglas Harding's Headless Way. We can't see our own face. We are space to face. Oh, I didn't know Nisargadatta knew Douglas Harding. Barbara says Nisargadatta loved Douglas Harding's Headless Way. Yeah, I didn't know they knew each other.
Well, I don't know whether they did or not, but they're still saying the same thing in different ways.
Yeah, it is an amazing. I love that too. It's
face to space or space to face.
Face to space. And what's there is really is such a nice, beautiful, easy, clear pointer that where the seeing happens from. There's nothing there. It's just totally nothing there. That's the first-hand experience. And now, Jane, you two are a dynamic duo. Beautiful pointers. Thank you both. Thank you, Jane. I think we are a good match in everything. And rocks, expand your absoluteness and bring them in. How beautiful. Yeah, when you were saying about expansion, that is a beautiful, yes, that is the way. You're not fixing, you just offer that beautiful field. Lovely thorough answers, much love. Thank you. And the elements, Jane says, and thank you for making this dream a better place, GK says. And we are up with the comments and questions.
Yes. Don't get away from the basic essence. You are the life right in this moment. There is no other life apart from you.
Yes.
Or I, or whatever else. It's through life is expressing through everything. And the Saga says there is only life. So it's not a personal life. It's just life itself. And out of life comes more life. Life lives on life. So that's all that there ever is that's happening. Life is spontaneously occurring, ever fresh, every new. Just in right here, right now, it's ever fresh, every new. It's spontaneously vibrating and continues to do. Patterns fall away from it, other new patterns come out of it, but it's still only the one essence. Nothing can be added to it, nothing taken away. What can you add to space or the absolute? What you can take away from it? You can blow this earth up right now. Blow it up completely into atoms, particles. Would there be anything lost?
Nope.
Wouldn't be.
Energy can't be destroyed, they
Yeah,
say.
you can't call it an earth again.
Labels would disappear.
Yeah, it would be all there in the space-like emptiness. Yeah. And the form's gone, so you couldn't say it was patterning, shaping or forming as anything other than space.
Right.
The hassles and things that go on from our belief we separate it. Yeah.
We have a good question from Barbara.
Yeah.
What is love?
You are.
That's a good answer.
You are, Barbara. Everything is that. Life is love. Love is life. We love to be.
Yes.
It's the love of being. And don't forget that you are the love.
Oh, that should...
Have an affectionate awareness of being. Affection is warmth or love. So be warm towards yourself. Right? Give yourself a little smile, a little wink, a little nod and say, I know you're there, even if you're not in the forefront right now. But you are behind that anger or fear or depression or guilt, whatever you put into the forefront. And if it wasn't for you, the life, that couldn't be there.
Yes.
So let it play its thing out.
Yeah.
Don't take any notice of it. Just let it be.
Like Roxanne said, the ripples on the surface, just let them be, yeah. And what you said in the beginning, you usually say presence awareness, and today you said present awareness, and that's another angle, just an angle. There's something that is present right now.
Yeah.
What you are is presence awareness, but is a present presence awareness. Is the actual, the immediate. That's love. That's love. You can call it as long as there is just one word, because we're talking about non-separation, the one essence. You can call it essence, you can call it love, you can call nothing, emptiness, awareness, yeah, whatever way.
Everything is that.
Yeah. Everything. The elements, Jane says. And
in the Sagata it says, when you recognise that and you are that living love, people will come to your door.
mm-hmm.
They'll seek you out, something will pull them. The love that they are, like the magnet you are, will draw them to you.
Yeah. Resonance.
Yeah.
We are all in our own dreamy universe, says Barbara. Yeah. All in our dreamy universe. Nisargadatta used to call it personalized world that we live in. And every daydream, every thought about what is not is just, it's a multi-dimensional dream. You are switching between the dreams, 1,000 dreams a day.
And persona, the mask, that's where the word person comes from. Yeah. Yeah. What can that mask own?
Yeah.
Might catch a few germs in it or something. But are they very important? Also, this personalised mask can catch a few things and hang on to them.
Yeah.
But it's not our reality. Take the mask on and be trust the wholeness, the completeness that you are.
Yeah.
Love is life. Life is love. Love is being. Being is love. Compassion is love. Godliness is love. Love is all those things, and they are, all those things are love also. So it's just another word we've put on which we discriminate. Put separate meanings on something which is one and the same.
I'm going to find that one of the favorite quotes that I have from Nisargadatta on love, because it is just so profound. And it says, does love act deliberately? He answers, that was a question. Yes and no. Life is love and love is life. What keeps the body together but love? What is desire but love of the self? What is fear but the urge to protect, which is love? And what is knowledge but the love of truth? The means and forms may be wrong, but the motive behind is always love. Love of the me and the mine. The me and the mine may be small or may explode and embrace the universe, but love remains. What Bob was talking about, expanding and taking the loved ones, the dear ones, into that field of love.
And that pattern through which that came through was absolute love too.
Yes. And what Nisargadatta includes, he includes desires. He includes act of extreme selfishness and brutality. It's still love. It's love for the me, which is projected as something poor, little, miserable, egocentric, whatever, who needs to take away from others to add to the me. But why would it want to add to the me? Because there is a love for the me. But the me can be universal I. And Johannes says, thank you for the pointers. And you are Bob, Jane says. And the love of being, love you both, and I love Barbara, that Barbara says. Yeah.
Is what?
Barbara says, the love of being, love you both, and I love Barbara. Well, love yourself. Yeah, and a beautiful way you are saying about it, because it kind of, it shows that dancing with the recognition of everything being love and appearing in that love as that love. So we are in our own dream universe. You recognize that. You see that. You see, this is the love. Then you don't even need to stop the dreaming. You see when the thought with its content of the universe, a memory of a dear one or loved one, which is a dream, it shows up, but you see the projections going through that awareness, present awareness, and you can just love it. Love it all. Love the dreaming. Love the daydreaming. All of it.
Yeah.
And Heyman, I love you is the synonym of I am. You, me, and you are one. Yeah. I love you is a synonym of I am you. Me and you are one. I guess that's better. Introduce some punctuation. You're right, Heyman. That's it. Beautiful. Yeah. Understanding that, seeing that, what a joy. World is projected. You are the projector. And rocks. Oh, how beautiful love is. Yeah, there's nothing outside of it. It's amazing. And that includes floods and fires of tears and sadness and dramas and all of it. It's amazing. Now we are up to date with the comments.
Anybody unaware?
Yeah. If so, there's no problem or question.
Not unaware, you must be aware. An awareness of being is the bliss of being, which is the love of being.
Yeah, the elegant simplicity of that one reminder. Are you unaware? Nope. Okay, that's it. Awareness is there. That's it. And if not for that awareness, nothing would be. So, give credit where credit is due.
And being is just another name for awareness.
Yes. Yeah. They call it aspects, being, consciousness, bliss, that they're aspects. Yeah, but they're inseparable. If there is a being and there is no awareness of being, there's literally no being. Or if there is awareness and it doesn't have a being, there is no awareness.
Yeah.
Even though the being is just a conceptualization of it.
Yeah. All comes down to the labels or the words.
Yes. Oh, we have a few more. Now, Tas. At night, I open window and ask the moon. At night, I open the window and ask the moon to come and press its face against mine. Breathe into me. Close the language door and open the love window. The moon won't use the door. Only the window. Rumi. Oh, how beautiful is that? Only the window. And Alvaro says, thank you, muchas gracias, and love. And GK, great love quote by Nisargadatta, Kat, thank you. Real tangible feeling of love is right here, right now. Peace and love. Isn't it sweet?
Yeah.
The tangible feeling of love, that's, beautiful. Tas, thank you, Bobcat and dear Jane, for pointing to the windows and to the exquisite view. Your offering of love have shown me the windows of my heart that were already open, but that the me thought was closed.
Yeah.
Beautifully said. Yes, thank you. And the sweetness of tangible feeling of love, of sweetness, of gratitude. Oh, yummy. That's the salt on sugar. That's the spice of life. And Barbara, is my dog just a memory if I can't see him?
What's it?
Yeah. Yeah. If we say yes, that will be conceptual answer. If we say no, that will be conceptual answer. I think the
But the essence of the dog, the love of the dog is with you,
yeah.
or you wouldn't be thinking of it.
Yeah, yeah. The cats were playing here a moment ago. They're gone now, lying down somewhere resting. There are different theories on that question, whether the observer is necessary for the experiment to even exist, or whether observer is only affecting it on one way or the other. The being is necessary. The interpretation is actualizing whatever it is in the being. I think I've read different theories in science. I think leaving it a mystery is actually the best.
Which?
Leaving it a mystery. Does the world, this is the quantum mechanics questions. I'm not looking what's behind me. Does it mean it disappears? There's nothing there, just a pure field of potentiality with nothing in it? Or it is still there, ready for me to look and acknowledge. That's the conceptual speculations. It can't be verified. It basically can't be answered without investment of belief.
Well, as I say, the pattern shapes and forms appeared, and that's all they were. Pattern shapes. Did they disturb the absolute or the life?
No.
To recognise it and seeming feel, hold it and know it, it had to appear as some seeming solid pattern shape and form. But the essence of it is still with you. It's merged back into the ocean of life again.
It seems like Bob calls it energy of belief, is what keeps the Santa Claus or the me or whatever. The energy of belief is what keeps everything real. The energy of belief, even in certain diets or certain deities, brings the experience about the result of the diets or deities. But it's not just my individual belief. If I will somehow manage to get hypnotized into a believing that I can fly and jump off the high building, I may sadly find out, or my family may find out, that it wasn't enough, that there is also a collective belief energy investing.
And then again you might be flying.
Sure, yeah.
Or when you crash, don't bend the halo.
Don't bend the halo. Yeah, the collective cultural studies around different tribes, like Aboriginal people who are actually exercising perfect murder by pointing a bone, because collectively there is 30 or 300 people believing that this is going to have an effect, and it does.
In the appearance, everything is valid.
Yes.
But show me the appearance. What's that? What's the appearance? Is the appearance itself real?
That's it. Yeah. And again, the explanations are fascinating entertainment for the mind. Only, that's it. That's all they serve. Science is another belief system. In ancient cultures, they had different belief systems. Magic was a belief system. Today we have science, but it is same principle of collective. Like before every experiment is done, there is an expectations on the result of it. Otherwise, there would be no experiment made. So yeah, that's. And Taz says, "Is my dog just a memory?" He says, "Wow, I love this question. It's fascinating. It definitely is."
Woof, woof.
Yeah, that's how you answer Zen koans. I remember I used to sit with different Zen sanghas, and I would be given koans to answer, and I would use all I could possibly can to try and work it out in the mind. And when the mind was exhausted, the simple answer would arrive like, oh, and this was the answer. And it was just like woof woof. That's it.
Is it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
For now, I see if there is anything on the screen here. A joy to be in your presence. A joy to be present. That's Rox. Catch up with us, Rox.
Yes. Love you all.
Love you all.
Thank you all.
Thank you all. And we have, that's it, yeah?
Okay.
Yeah?